The world's tallest building. A Formula One track basking in heat. India. All quite some way for a man who once thought Northampton was north because it's got north in its name. He gets lost easily in the middle of rural Somerset and has never been to the creme de la creme of the UK, Burnley. This man's knowledge doesn't stretch that far from Dean Court. And this man has been sent abroad. He will definitely get lost. This is A Cherry Abroad.
Let's give Craig a call. Craig. I've heard it's 42 degrees out there at the moment. And I know you like your racing, so as a treat, you'll be going to Yas Marina, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now, don't get too hot and try not to crash.
Here we are, this is the Yas Marina circuit. Look at this. I think it beats Silverstone any day of the week. A couple of hours after landing in the UAE, I went straight to the first of my adventures, Yas Marina, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As somebody who's had an active interest in Formula One, this was a real treat, but as you'll see in this video, there was loads more to it. First things first, we went to the Sunset Lounge. Now, the Sunset Lounge has two doors which open up onto the main track. It was 37 degrees at this point, so a bit warmer than Bournemouth, and boiling outside. So we were quite thankful to the aircon. We jumped straight away into the bus and we went to the school's experience centre, which is an initiative in collaboration with ADNOC, which is the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, and that's specialising in a project-based STEM learning programs. Now, the cars you'll see here were all designed by children from the ages of 8 to 21. They are creating the engineers of the future here. As you'll see, there is a track where they can race their cars, equipping them with the skills for a future in Formula One.
So these are the champion cars over the years.
We then viewed the famous or infamous corner at Yas Marina for anybody who knows their Formula One, which was an amazing place for photos. The lighting of this area has changed a bit ahead of the next Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is taking place in November. Back on the bus, we then saw Ferrari World. Now, this is actually the home of the world's fastest roller coaster, the Forza Rossa. I didn't go on it, don't worry. It cannot be spotted far away by the massive Ferrari badge on top of the building.
When I asked him how much of a tons you have used as a statement there in that building, he said, I'm not working for percentages. Just letting you know what he said. Now we're going to a facility called Drag Center. It's American-made racing in which two cars they stop next to the signal and then they go for a quarter-mile race. They are using everything as a fuel, whatever burns in the road, and they also have 3 parachutes to stop landing.
A bit further along, we went to the drag racing track, which can be seen in the Netflix show The Fastest. Believe it or not, you can actually race any type of car here, as long as it's not electric. Sorry, electric car lovers. So if you ever fancied showing off the speed of your Vauxhall Corsa, you can actually do that. In the background, you will be able to see the Shams Tower, but I'll come back to that at the end, as that was a bit of a surprise. We then went on a bit more of a drive, which took us past a number of buildings and led us by the Yas Marina arch to the garages. And as you'll be able to see in these pictures, some of the most amazing vehicles being modified and set up for racing, with a fair few bits of gold around the engines as well. Most of these vehicles were Aston Martins, Porsches, and Mercedes. We then had a bit more of a tour of the track, as you'll see next.
If you're wearing orange shirt with number 33 written on it, that's a nice for you. We've got about 3,962 fans here. This is the capacity of the grandstand. And then we have a few in the hospitality areas as well. We are approaching the banked corner. It's one of the favourite corners of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has achieved a speed over here of 223 kilometers an hour. So he was the fastest in this corner. Then we add to it with new tyres and soft compound. On your right hand side is South Grandstand, which is at the end of our track, or towards the marina side. Most of the people, they think it's too far. It's not too far. You can see a lot of racing from here. This is what most of the people are missing. So as you can see, this is the banked corner. We have shaped 4 corners to make one massive corner over here. And Lewis has achieved 6.28 Gs in this corner. Over here doing 40 kilometers an hour now. So we have different options to watch a race. So if you have a yacht, you can watch a race from the top of the yacht, or you can watch a race from the hotel room as well. The cove braking zone, or turn braking, is in front of us, and next to it on your left hand side you will see some marks of tyres, and that is where Mick Schumacher did his donuts. Approaching W Hotel. Turn number 12. Approaching turn number 13. Off-cambered corners here. And main building will be on your left hand side, and marina building will be on your right hand side when we turn left. And this is the bridge which has a bar and a footbridge on top of it inside this thing. And we are approaching turn number 14, Latifi's favourite corner. He ended his race here 2 years ago.
You can still see where it's done.
Thank you, Melvin. That's a bit too harsh, Melvin. You're stopping here. Anyway, so we have a footbridge in front of us, and on your left hand side is the building of W Hotel. Now this footbridge is for team personnel. They're actually staying in W Hotel, and they're walking with this footbridge to the main paddock area on the right hand side. We are at turn number 15 now. Anyway, and this is the last corner, and that's the start of Formula One. This is the starting grid of Formula One, and the finish line is in front of us on the track, the checkered line. On your right hand side is, well, it used to be a podium, and we are changing the podium into something different. So we will be launching some changes in next Grand Prix. So ladies and gentlemen, Melvin will now show you how to launch a bus off the line on the cost of a clutch.
This led us to the start line, where we were able to take some more photos. This is where Lewis Hamilton would hopefully be in pole position ahead of the race in November, and looking ahead again to the Shams Tower, which is where the royal family of the United Arab Emirates would watch the race from. And this was actually the surprise, that we'd actually be able to go and view the track from the top of the tower which was an amazing treat to be fair and completely unexpected.
Our pit lane exit goes into a tunnel and it comes up from left-hand side of the track. As you can see next to the apex of turn number 1 on your left-hand side. There we are. So this was turn number 1. By the way, every team gets 3.5 garages in Yas Marina circuit because we have 40 garages, not 30 or 35. Why we have more garages? Because the regulation says the garages must be in the limits of pit lane. Well, if we keep on making it till here, it's going to be a lot. So yeah, pit lane exit is on your left hand side. The cheapest ticket in Yas Marina circuit is 1,000 dirhams ticket for 4 days, 4 concerts and a transport, and that's on your left hand side. It's a hill ticket. It's one of the best tickets, believe me or not. This is where it shows you this view in front of you. That's the view. So yeah, that ticket is sold out in 48 hours all the time. So please be quick next year. We're going back to pit lane number 3.
From up here, you can see the Ferrari World building, the whole of Abu Dhabi pretty much, and also get a view of the track as well as the rest of Yas Island. What made this even more special was I managed to see this as the sunset and get some photos in one of the most amazing buildings in Formula One. Remember, this is for the royal family of the UAE and therefore normally is close to the public. The day ended back at the start point, but this was one of the most enjoyable days I've ever had, and the tour was brilliant. If you're ever in Abu Dhabi, it is highly recommended, and the tour guide was brilliant, as was the driver. There will be more videos coming up soon of this amazing trip, but if you did enjoy this, please do give it a subscribe, a thumbs up, and also drop a comment about your favourite part, and I'll see you in the next episode.